Welcome to the tutorial on the BRANE Lab's audiometry software. We're going to be demonstrating today how to do Automated-Bekesy using this software. Let's go ahead and click on that. And we see it pops up here. What we have are two tabs, one audiometry and one calibration. We won't be going through the calibration today. Check out the video on how to do calibration. But for today's tutorial, we'll be looking at the audiometry part of it. There is the study info, study directory defaults to wherever the executable file is or application is, and here it's on my desktop. This is the participant information. We can change that. I'm just going to leave it as XX, and you can add in age, gender, sex chromosome, handedness, and whatever session you're currently working on. If you're going to be testing this person multiple times, you put in session 2, 3, and so on. We can save the results and we can load in previous results. Underneath that, we have the psychometric panel. That is going to show you the intensity on the y-axis by the number of trials that are be presenting to the participant. And currently we're set in a Bekesy mode, so it says ask the participant, click or hold the screen. And I'll show you that right now. Just go to here. We have Houston-Westlake procedure that we can perform, or we can perform the Bekesy. And you see that when we select that, another window pops up. This is the user input window. You would put this on another screen for the user so that the user can't see what's going on with the intensity series, but that they can click and hold a button. So it's best to use this software with two screens where the participant can view one screen with the user input, and then the tester yourself would be on another screen using this window here. On the right, we have the audiogram, so after the Automated-Bekesy has scored the threshold, it will show up on the audiograms depending on the ear that you selected and the type of transducer. You can also use different stimuli when we're doing the Bekesy or the Houston-Westlake, and you can select for those audiograms here. So underneath these panels, we have the stimulus and recording parameters. We can start and stop the sessions. We can make the stimuli, we can play them, and we can change the intensity here manually. These four buttons we're not going to be demonstrating today because they are for the Houston-Westlake procedure, but it's really for scoring whether the participant didn't hear the sound, or heard the sound when it was presented, so miss and a hit. And you can either clear the threshold or store the threshold. Next to that, we have frequency. We can change the frequency up and down if we like. Train rate, that's the number of stimuli per second that are going to be presented within a train. And I'll draw your attention down here that train changes here with a duration of currently set at 500 milliseconds. So every 500 milliseconds we get a new stimulus. And that's a dB step size per train. But if that is lower than this dB step size, this is the default. This is the dB step size that you can use for changing this manually. But in the Automated-Bekesy, it will change automatically. Okay. We have the ear. We can test left and right ear, and the transducers. If you have it set up, we can do air conduction or bone conduction. You can change your sampling rate, and this is the number of reversals for your Automated-Bekesy. So it will go to 5 reversals and take the average of those 5 reversals as the threshold. We can go ahead and display the stimuli, so why don't I do that now? We click on display, and we're going to make the stimulus for 1000 Hertz pure tone. So these are all the different types of stimuli that you can choose, and we had pure tone selected there. You saw that pop up here. It has a duration of 500 milliseconds with a rise time of 50 milliseconds. So you can see this rise time up to 50 milliseconds. You can plot the envelope if you like as well. And it's a Blackman gated window. You can change that to a triangular window if you like. Just go back and click make stimuli. You can see it's a linear ramp there. But we're going to do Blackman for this demonstration. And next to that, we have the auto-Bekesy frequencies. What happens here is that once threshold is done for the 500 Hertz, it'll start 500 Hertz, do an Automated-Bekesy test, and then automatically switch to 1000 Hertz once threshold has been determined, and then 2000 and 4000 Hertz. Okay, now that we've explained all the different features for doing the Automated-Bekesy, why don't we just go right ahead and perform an Automated-Bekesy procedure. Now what I'm going to be doing, again, Usually this is on 2 screens, but I'm doing it side by side. I'm going to act as the participant and the recorder. So I'm going to go ahead and make the stimuli and then click on start here in a second, and then my mouse will be moved over to this click and hold. So when I'm hearing the stimuli, I'll click and hold this button until I don't hear the sounds anymore, and then I'll release and then click again when I hear it, so on and so forth. Okay, so here we go. So just to note, the first 2 reversals here, the stimuli go down, up and down by double the dB step size. And now it's switched to being the dB step size of 2 dB. Okay, my threshold is 7.2 dB, test time of 50 seconds. And now we've switched to a new stimulus frequency of 1000 Hertz. And there we go. We have the 500, 1000, 2000, and 4000 Hertz thresholds. And you can see here it's 17.2. That is the average of the last 5 reversals. So there's 1, 14, 24, 12, 24 again, 14, and 24. So it's the average of those. That's how you get this threshold here. Now you can go ahead and do further testing in the right ear using air conduction, and again, if you have your bone conductor set up, you can go ahead and do your left and right, and it will plot it up here as well. You can also do different stimulus types if you like, and a whole host of them are selected here, and then you can change their stimulus parameters. But I just demonstrated this for pure tones here, and that really is the end of the Bekesy audiometry that you can do using BRANE Lab's audiometer. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you check out the other videos on how to do the Houston-Westlake procedure, how to do calibration, and so on. All the best to you.